Hello again, everyone. Today will be another portion of Lerissa Tiefling Diaries. But I will be reading the first little spark notes that she has strewn together for her series. And just to warn everyone, she considers her younger self, or Rita, as the story entails, as a separate being. So, yeah. So, I'll just let you listen to it instead of spoiling it all for you. So sit back, grab a nice warm beverage, a snack, and close your eyes as you listen to a Tiefling's diary. Good evening, Rita. I can't believe I was able to remember so much. While writing it, felt as if it was just yesterday I came to this bizarre world. I say bizarre, but it is a beautiful place if you go far enough into the lands. Oh, get this. So, I lost track of how long ago it was, but we got a half-orc paladin, as well as a dragonborn paladin in our party. The half-orc isn't that smart, and he just calls himself Big Dave. And the dragonborn calls himself Noob? Weird, I know, but that's how it is. Yeah. So anyway, we went through a portal and ended up in another land where, get this, there are other druids. Holy crap, I am so excited to finally meet others. Anyway, so we came upon a massive city with two different names, Eagle's Reach, which is what the elves call it, and Stone Spire is what the dwarves call it. I think that's what the dwarves call it. As of now, our party consists of the half-orc, dragonborn, me, a monk, a dwarf, and a sorcerer named Red. Still not sure what race he is, but he causes massive fireballs, and it's great. Where was I? Oh, right. We came upon a fancy-looking inn, Gavin's Inn, once we entered the city and paid our fines, and they have baths. And I just took one while reading a book on the history of this new land. While I did this, Big Dave was taking on an owl-bear liver eating contest, in which if he eats the entire liver of an owl-bear, our meals were free for the night. And I'll just say, an owl-bear is ginormous. Its liver's gonna be huge, and it was. But here I am writing this instead of going back. It's all good though. Tomorrow we are supposed to go out to the keep and the mines to look for treasure. But I wanted to reminisce first, so here goes. As I mentioned earlier, I was celebrating my mother's birthday when I got dragged into this alternate plane of existence. If you didn't know, this is the earthen plane that I am in now, and I came from the infernal plane of Prithvi. Now, I was able to do research with Ina before I got arrested. While I was reading up on the type of plants found in the area, Ina asked if I had recalled where I came from, and the only word I remembered was Prithvi. And with that word, she was able to find some ancient elven books about the infernal planes, and we learned more about Prithvi that way. As it turns out, Prithvi revolves around their sun 4 times faster than this Earth does around its own sun, meaning 4 years on Prithvi equals 1 year on Earth, or here. So, I guess that's why we looked like a 4-year-old child when we arrived, but in reality, we were 16. Now, the phenomenon of us growing up quickly seemed to have something to do with an infernal feline that existed within all denizens of Prithvi that made everyone there age a lot slower. And when we came to the earthen plane, that feline was cut and time caught up with her body, so we could live a bit easier here. Weird and makes no sense, I know. However, only 5 ancient books were believed to have information on the infernal planes. Unfortunately, Ina was only able to find 2 books, which basically had the same information in both of them. On another note, I plan to file down my horns, or cut them well enough to let them grow the way I want. The crude curling of them annoy me to all ends, and I can't wait to rid myself of that horror. You know, Rita, the horror of the Tura humans curving our horns their way. If I remember correctly, that responsibility of shaping our growing horns was given to Mother. Well, if we were still on our home plane. I wonder how Mother and Father are doing. Anyways, after treasure hunting in the next few days, I plan to meet up with some other druids, and if I am able to ask, maybe I can see if one of them will help me with our horn issue. What would you like, design-wise? I say all this, but I don't think there is an actual way to truly fix our horns. Maybe instead I can look for some earrings. Get it? Earrings for horns? Yeah, I'm not good at these kinds of jokes. Sorry, Rita. I wonder if Ina and Oranis are fine. Well, not like I know how to get back, but I wish them well. Oh, right. I was able to recall what those humans first said when we arrived here. I'll write it down for you here. They said, a child? One with a tail and horns at that? You cannot really see the horns, but they are definitely there. This is a problem. Our 15 mages summoning ritual took 8 of their lives only to summon a demon child in return? Sire, I believe this child is one of those tieflings we have heard about. A tiefling? Can they be trained? Apparently, they thought we were demon children at first. Tieflings are definitely not demons. Sure, we have horns and tails, but it's not our fault. Our ancestors committed a terrible sin. Anyways, they at least had someone with intelligence to be able to tell the difference. And you think with 15 mages they would be able to do a successful summoning? But looks like they were incompetent and underestimated magic. What I'm surprised about is the fact our elven parents didn't help with it. I guess Mom and Pop weren't actually under the Tura family, but instead just helping out and were getting paid to work on other things. Speaking of elves, I met a really cool one who ran a little general shop. He let me borrow his book, the one I mentioned I read in the bath, since I had an interest in the history of the land, you know. His name was Dutch. I like him, but I don't think it's the romantic kind of love, or love in general at least. For now, I need to remember to take these entries out if I decide to write a book. He just has this graceful presence about him. He used to be an adventurer like us, but he is now retired. He has his own small library behind the counter, and I guess my thirst for knowledge has piqued my interest in him. Back on topic, I'm not sure the reason, but I think Lady Tura disliked us was because she believed we would end up seducing Sir Tura. So ridiculous. How would we have done that anyways? We never saw him. I can't really remember what she looked like, but it was probably some petty reason. The only thing I remember about her is just the blue hue she got from the spell we casted. Now don't worry, little me. The scars from being researched on are mostly healed. Some have stayed, while the rest healed successfully, and there's no proof that they ever existed. However, the bigger scars look like battle wounds, so that's a plus. Well, only to people who don't actually know our story. But that's fine. They aren't as big as they were back then, so you can be relieved, Rita. So the prison of Khazad-dûm was apparently a prison for the most vile criminals. And since we turned Lady Tura blue on accident, we were considered vile, so she had us imprisoned at Khazad-dûm. Now, there was no way of getting out, and it was stationed on a cliffside, and since I was stripped of my possessions, I had no way to meditate in order to gain some of my power from nature. Since I was in a stone cell with no windows, just a bed, bathroom, were all that was in the cell, really. As stated, food wasn't the best. The bread was hard a lot of the times, and the soup wasn't very great. I lost track of day and time while in there, so I do not know when, but our meal came with a hollowed out piece of bread with a yew wand. I know I said twig, but it was a small yew wand that could have been a twig, or for all I know, with a note wrapped around it talking about a breakout that was gonna happen. At first, I couldn't care less, since now I was able to sense the essence of nature, even if just by a little bit, as I focused on the yew wand. But when the explosion happened and prisoners were starting to escape, I felt as if it was necessary for me to try and to escape in order to live a better life. I said it all happened so fast, but that was since I don't really remember the exact details that led up to being pushed up the side of the broken wall. Sorry, but I hope this was helpful for you, little me. I wouldn't mind spoiling everything that has happened since we fell from the prison of Khazad-dûm, but that wouldn't be fun, little me. I'm sure you love stories, so I'll always put it into story form, that way you can enjoy the life I lived for us. As for why I didn't start doing this from the start, well, running around with a dwarf rogue, Bella, who loves treasure, as well as our other party members, Dave, Red, Noob, and Monkey Boy, the monk. I think his name was Shen. There was a lot of traveling where I could not buy materials, as well as I was just enjoying the time I had with them. I'm sure you remember the Fire Genasi and the other Tiefling Warlock, the Bard, and Miss Agatha, but I haven't heard from them in a while. They mentioned something about going on their own adventures, but I kind of miss them, especially Miss Agatha. But I will tell you more about them later on in the story, so look forward to it. Also, every opportunity I've had, I've made sure to help purify nature from the evil that overtook it, so don't worry, I am doing my job, little me. Well, I hear cheers from down below now, so I'm guessing the half-orc finished that owl bear liver, and I think it's time to rest, that way I'm ready for tomorrow's adventure, so I'll write to you tomorrow night if I can. Bye everyone. Bye little me. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little spark note. You know, spark notes from Lerissa as she was writing her story. Explaining it to herself, you know. So with that, I'll be going now. Probably to work on another story. Maybe the continuation of this. I'm not sure yet. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, hit the like button, and it knows you actually enjoy my stories. Comment down in the comment section if you want to hear particular pieces next or anything of the latter, and make sure to subscribe so you can follow along the stories. I think that's it. And with that, I'll see you guys next time in the next story, next video. So, GBFN, goodbye for now.